So in the process of working with young people, I found the need for them to be very aware emotionally, for them to be very emotionally intelligent. So I'm very interested in this topic because to work with young people, you also need to be aware of their parents' states, their parents' emotions, their parents' values. So they're key to the whole process. So that's why I'm here and that's what I do.
Thank you for joining. Tayo?
Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taya Falabi, the Chief Strategist of World PR Media. World PR Media focuses on helping businesses, people achieve their personal and business growth through strategic execution. So we basically help companies strategize on how to solve their business problems in a nutshell.
Nice, fantastic. Thank you for that. Dr. Maimuna, I'll introduce you when we start. But we're just killing time with introductions. We're gonna start definitely at 12:10. So I suppose people will join in as people will join in as we go on. But for the people that are here already, my name is Tewa Onosanya. I'm the founder of the ELOY Awards Foundation, which is the platform that is hosting this webinar. And welcome everybody to the ELOY Sustainable Empowerment webinar series. So the ELOY Awards Foundation is about sustaining women empowerment and also celebrating women. So we've been celebrating women consistently since 2009. And in 2018, we started the ELOY Awards Foundation. So what we decided to do was not only celebrate women, but find a medium where we're able to empower them, and not only empower them, but we sustain that empowerment as well. So the big aim of the ELOY Awards Foundation is to sustain women empowerment. So we continue the conversation after the ELOY Awards, and we go on with ladies that we register onto something we've called the ELOY Awards Sustainable Empowerment Program, where they are groomed to help them build and sustain their businesses. So that's a bit about the ELOY Awards Foundation. So we would just wait a little bit more. Okay, so now it's 12:10. So I suppose people will join in as they will catch up as they come in. So I'm gonna introduce us to Dr. Maimuna. Can everybody hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So today's topic is mental awareness for the business owner and entrepreneur. And our speaker today is Dr. Maimuna Yusuf Kadiri. A round of applause. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Maimuna. So I'm going to read your bio. Dr. Maimuna Kadiri is a dynamic consultant, neuropsychiatrist, and a fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, with almost 20 years experience as a practicing physician. She's a trained certified rationale, emotive, and cognitive behavioral therapist from the Albert Ellis Institute in New York. She is also a certified trauma counselor and neurofeedback practitioner. Dr. Kadiri is a global affiliate of Workplace Options and provides critical incident stress management and other forms of employee assistance program to corporate organizations worldwide. Her driving force is to live, to learn, and to award. Sorry, I think I lost connection for a minute. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we are here.
Okay,
Hi.
I think I lost connection. I lost connection for a minute. So she is popularly referred to as a celebrity shrink and as a multiple award-winning medical health physician and advocate. So everybody, please help me make welcome to Dr. Maimuna Yusuf Kadiri. Hello, doctor. Am I still connected? Hello?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Good
Great to
afternoon.
meet you.
Thank you. So, equip yourself with tools, and all that. For me, this is a good platform, at least for the next 60 minutes to 90 minutes. Let's have that one-on-one. I won't want to start talking, hey, it's this, it's that, you know what I mean, but I do know that is what the online platform is. But, there are few we can have, I can be here to help demystify some of the, myths you've had or some challenges you're already going through. Let's make it conversational as against having a talk. So I don't know how, Tio, I don't know if that is okay by you, but I believe for you to come on board here, there are some burning questions and some things you want clarification for, and we're just few. So let's have that conversation. But before
Perfect.
Yeah. So before we go on that road, this is our common joke on any online platform, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. Can everyone hear me? Can you all see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes, we can.
If you can't see me and you can't hear me, that means you are not in this room. So that is a common thing you hear everywhere online. Can you see me?
Yes, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I'm always laughing, like, what the hell? Do you have to ask that question? We can't see you. But the truth is that this is our new normal, and we have to accept it. Not necessarily agreeing with it, truly, but acknowledging it will keep us more productive, will keep us focused, and of course, it will help us achieve our goals now and post-COVID, because we want to all, pass through this pandemic, and post-COVID, we are able to do all what we all intended to do. And of course, I want to remind us, there's a post-COVID survival party. And I want everyone in this forum to be part of that survival party. Mm-hmm. And the catch about it, there's Ashwebi already on ground. Quarantine green, lockdown yellow, with matching face masks. So please, 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 at this point, government rules and directives are very key. Take responsibility, stay safe. It's in your hands right now to stay safe. Yes, government is doing all what they have to do, but it's actually in your hands to stay safe and make sure people all around you are doing the same. If you have a family with younger children, you must incorporate them into the health plan of the family. Don't do the right things and expect the children to just go along. No, you also have to inform them, know what they already know, and then of course help them or learn certain things they might have gotten online that is not helpful for them, so that they will be on the same page. And as a business owner, same goes for your employees. Don't do all the hand sanitizer, wash your hands, and then your staff are not following the rules. One person in your organization that is positive, that organization is shut down. You go into isolation for 14 days, and this is it. After 14 days, there's still what we call viral shedding, and there's still what we call lingering on some of these symptoms, because everybody is individualized when it comes to any medical condition. So the carrier or the person that infected everybody in the organization may come out of isolation hale and hearty, and somebody who you thought was hale and hearty may just be the person that will just go south. So we must be very careful right now when they say take responsibility according to the NCDC, it means in Nigeria terms, you are on your own. Oh, why? You must take that responsibility. So, like I said, let's have a discussion. We are very few. We're just about 6 or 7 years. Let's talk. What are the myths? What do you want to hear? What is mental wellness for employees and for business owners, and entrepreneurs? What would you want to hear? What are those burning questions? Ask anything when it comes to mental health, mental wellness. Ask anything when it comes to you. I preach hope, I bring hope, and I'm big on self-care and self-love. So
perfect.
Let's set the ball rolling.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maimuna. So yes, I like the style. Please, everybody, I've also put in the chat section that put your questions out there or raise your hand. This is very, very informative and educative as well. So if you have any questions, please use this opportunity to ask. So my first question to Dr. Maimuna, whilst we're waiting for, okay, Labari's raised her hand. I'm gonna go to you in a moment, Labari. My first question is, how does your mental health affect your business and you as a business owner?
Beautiful. You know, when we are, because it's a smaller forum, when you hear the word mental, what comes to your mind, ladies? When you hear the word mental, you know, there's that thing that people are like, okay, there's somebody crazy right here. This person has gone wacko. But we need to go back to the basis. Let me tell you what the World Health Organization says about mental health. And when you hear these definitions, just think deeply, listen to the words and absorb it, assimilate it, and you understand that this is all about you, your life in total. Mental health, according to the World Health Organization, states that it says that it's a state of well-being whereby an individual has the ability to realize his or her potentials in life. That's the first part of it. The second part, the ability to deal with the day-to-day hassles or stresses of life. Thirdly, the ability to work productively and fruitfully. And last but not the least, the ability to give back to the society or to give back to your community. And this is a caveat. Mental health is not the absence of a mental disorder. So when you look at these 4 statements I made, have you realized your potentials in life? Can you deal with the day-to-day stresses of life, work productively and fruitfully, and give back to the society? But if you read the statement where it says the ability, it didn't say you must have the full potentials to life. It didn't say you should deal with the day-to-day stresses of life. Those are like compelling you that you must do it. No. It's telling you, if you don't have the ability, equip yourself with the ability. Learn to have the ability. Delegate if there are certain things you need to do. Outsource if there are certain things you need to do. The ability just means that it mustn't be 100%, but, you know, develop that ability. And if you don't have yourself, equip yourself with it. So if you understand this definition, you know that it's from inception, from when you were born to who you are now. The ELOY Awards Empowerment Forum is a way to where it's giving back to the society. And each and every one of us on this forum, we are giving back to the society in various ways, you know. And most of us may not be doing it for the glam, but we are doing it to empower somebody. Even the challenge that is going on right now, Accept Challenge, the black and white thing, you know, women supporting women. Sometimes it may not be you giving people cash, but, you know, that calling somebody, that finding out how the person is doing, helping the person, that is one way. So when you say that definition of mental health, all of us on this forum, we all have it in one way or the other. Because we have, you know, if you don't have the ability 100%, somehow we have in 50%, 60%, 80%, it depends. But what we do not all have is mental illness. We all have mental health, but we do not all have mental illness. What mental illness definition is that, or statistics shows in Nigeria, is that 1 out of every 5 Nigerians will have a mental illness in their lifetime. Maybe they're already living with a mental illness. Maybe they're having it right now because of all what is happening. or maybe in future. And this is it. No one, absolutely no one, including myself being an expert in this field, has immunity against mental illness. No vaccine has been developed, and I don't think there will ever be a vaccine. So this is because as human beings, we don't live in isolation. We are social beings. We have people around us. You lose a loved one, you will grieve. And at that point in time, you are mentally unstable. You may have financial issues. You may have relationship crises. You may be in a marriage where there's domestic violence. You may be dealing with a child with special needs. You may be having job dissatisfaction on the employment. There's so many things, whether genetically or environmentally, that could make you, expose or trigger a mental disorder. So how does it affect businesses? Because the human being is a social being that must interact. And of course, you running a business. So you running a business is not different from you running your home. It's not different from you being a daughter. It's not different from you being a sibling. It's not different from you being a sister. It's not different from you being a friend or a business owner, a career entrepreneur running, being in somebody's business. It then means that we must take you in totality. So, and if we take you in isolation, just because you are running a business, you are not doing justice to that person. So how does it affect you? You must know that human being before he or she starts running a business. Is this person already vulnerable before he or she started running a business? And when people are already vulnerable, that comes to play at one point or the other in the person's life. So what are these vulnerability risk factors that each and every one of us may have, or some of us may already, we're already predisposed to it? Coming from a home where there was domestic violence, coming from a home where there was divorce, coming from a home where there was death of one or both of your parents, coming from a home where genetically you are predisposed because somebody in the family has a mental illness, coming from a home where there was dysfunctionality, where father will say come, mother will say go. You are already predisposed. These are vulnerability risk factors. As you grow, these are things you were given. They were not choices that you made. Now, as you grow, you made the choice to be a business owner. How can it impact on you as a business owner? These factors are not things that you will say they are written on your face. People may never know. But in your business, now there's COVID-19. You're in travel business, you're in event business, the business has crumbled. And you can't cope. There are issues that maybe financial things, challenges, or the fact that the sector just collapsed because nobody is doing any party or one pay right now, and you cannot just comprehend what it is. What then happens now that this becomes a trigger? And when there's a trigger, how you deal with it can either make you or mar you. And that is where we say building coping strategies are very important. Lebari talked about the fact that she's an emotional intelligence expert. Of course, that is very important because the key factors of emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. If you do not know yourself, and you know that you're already vulnerable to being mentally unstable, at this point in time, you will not be able to manage yourself. And of course, you cannot even manage people. And when that affects your business, what happens? Productivity dips, and of course, resultant profitability, there will not be. Why? Because you, the owner of the business, when you are not there, and if you have not been able to strategize and put a structure to your business on how it can run on autopilot, it's a good way for people to just use that opportunity to, take care of typhoon, or the business will just die a natural death. So there are many ways that our mental health can affect our businesses. And, because anxiety, depression, and substance abuse are still the top 3 leading mental illnesses among employers and, of course, employees worldwide. So when you are anxious, it becomes so bad, it starts affecting your day-to-day activities. It derails you from your focus. Even the business goals, the business plan, and how to run the business, you will not be. Because the symptoms of depression, one of it is loss of interest in things ordinarily you love to do. And if your business is of interest to you, that symptom would automatically take you away from that business. And people may not understand. In fact, most times people will not understand. And because there's a high rate of discrimination and stigma attached to people living with mental illnesses, people don't voluntarily come out to say, this is it, and I need help. And this is a point in this forum, and I'm going to build foot soldiers for mental health advocacy. So all of you are going to be my mental advocate to talk about mental health just the way we talk about malaria and cancer, because anybody can be predisposed. So once it affects your mental, once a mental health affects an individual, running a business is not paramount to that person, because the symptoms of mental illnesses, with loss of interest in things ordinarily you love to do, with sadness, low energy level, you wouldn't even want to go to work, you wouldn't want to do anything. And at the end of the day, the business suffers. Employees may be thinking that you are just being rude and then you are a bad boss. They wouldn't know that you are dealing with a whole lot of challenge. So, but talking about it, letting people around you know that there's something wrong, and encouraging help-seeking behavior by building a culture of compassion. I think those are some of the ways we need to go when it comes to linking mental health and our businesses.
Right. Thank you very much for that. So Labari, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Okay. Wow, Dr. Kadiri, that's a lot. I actually came on not because I had any questions, but because I heard you speak at an event. It was fast, just as this one is. It carried a punch, and I just felt there was much more to hear from you, especially when you gave the statistics about children and the mental health and what could happen and all that. So that really caught my attention. So whilst you were speaking, you answered a lot of questions I didn't even know I had. And thinking of this COVID time, sorry I'm taking so long with my question.
No. We are discussing. This is
yes,
a conversation.
we are discussing.
Thinking of this COVID time, I remember when we heard about possible lockdown, my family and I went to our village because we thought, okay, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, let's go to the farm. It's nice and fresh. But it then extended. And there was a period of time where I just kind of lost interest in everything. And my energy level was low. So I had to dig deep within myself and think, what is going on here? What do I really want? What's this happening? And I was able to pull myself out of it. So just your speaking now just makes me realize how vulnerable we can all be if we do not watch it, if we're not self-aware. So I'll go to a question now, which you just touched on strategies. So as an employer, how do you ensure that you maintain that stable mental health? You talked about building strategies. What are some of those strategies?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I go into those strategies, I want to quickly enlighten us how this COVID-19 is affecting us mentally. Let's understand that collectively we are traumatized. Globally, we are traumatized. In whichever form you want to see it, we are facing one form of trauma or the other. But when it comes to a society like ours in Nigeria, yes, this may apply to every part of the world, but we are a peculiar kind of people, uniquely made, amazing. We see suffering as a competition. Who is suffering more than the other person? We don't allow people to grieve when it comes to how people are suffering. We believe that you must have a certain number of, a certain degree of you having a level of suffering before you are allowed to grieve. No. This is a time for us to build that culture of compassion. And what do I mean by that? When it comes to building a culture of compassion, you want to build a safe space. So it's one of the strategies, Labari, is for us to build that culture of compassion when you want to create a mentally healthy workforce. A mentally healthy workforce, you want to be able to reduce absenteeism, presenteeism, and of course, you want to be able to reduce healthcare costs, total overall healthcare costs. You want to be able to build a platform or a work environment where people become more productive. So when we say building a culture of compassion, it trickles down to layman's language. Build a safe space. What do we mean by building a safe space? A safe space where people can speak up and speak out. A safe space where you can encourage help-seeking behavior. A safe space where people can talk without them being judged, without them being criticized, and when it comes to us as Nigerians, without us being apostolic towards them. Stop telling them your church, because your pastor is not praying. You have to port to my church. My church is better. You have not been fasting and praying well. That is why you are having all these challenges. Are you sure it's not your village people? No. When people are dealing with emotional issues, it's not because they are less prayerful or they don't, in a way, fast enough. So that the first strategy I want us to encourage is to build that mentally healthy work environment, mentally healthy workforce. Because at the end of the day, people will not take permission from you because they know that you may deduct money from them or you may sack them. Rather, that absenteeism has been taken away from the workplaces now. It's now presenteeism. They are there, they are WhatsApping, Instagramming, Facebooking, tweeting, and all that, using even your, facility and your equipment to do that. So they are not going to, tell you that they won't be present, but they'll come to work and be doing present. In fact, some of them will come very early, close late, and you won't see any reason why you want to lay that person off. And when the appraiser comes, that emotional attachment that, he comes early and he has been doing job, but how productive is this person to your, work environment? How productive, what input is this person bringing about? So first is that building culture of comfort. That is second. The first is advocacy, letting everybody know that, mental health, we all have it, or mental illness, we do not all have it. And of course, giving that, by the time you're building a culture of compassion, you are not giving them room to express themselves and talk about it. Again, other tools we want to also equip people with is being organized. So it's mental resilience. And one of the factors of mental resilience is being organized. As a business owner, you cannot afford to be disorganized. Because if you do not put a structure in place, I don't know what SOPs you want your employees to be able to, use to deliver their job, with regards to their JDs, that's their job description. You must be able to put a structure in place, be organized in such a way that, if you are the front desk, this is what you have to do, this is how you want to do it. What that does to the brain is that it keeps the brain free, because for every minute, about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts come through your mind. And, and when this person doesn't have, it's not organized to follow protocol on what he or she is supposed to do, the brain get mumbled up. And then, of course, when somebody is talking to him or her, person is answering one other thing. But when you are organized and you get every other employee in your organization to be organized, with time, within 3 weeks to 1 month, a habit is formed. That person gets into that business, gets into that mode, gets into that structure, and he or she becomes organized. It's a very powerful tool to build mental resilience in the workplace. And of course, as you do that, you begin to realize that your front desk person may not be, the personality may not be the type that keeps him or her organized. And if you are a very strategic leader in your organization, you then want to look at what good skills does this individual have, that this front desk is not good for this person, or the person can work in the IT room or can do something behind the scene and the person will do it. So your first rule is even know your strength of your employees, so that you will know where to put them. Don't say because the person has a beautiful face in the front desk, the person may have social anxiety, which means that the person may not want to interact with people. And with that, you'll find out that with time, your people coming to your organization, they easily get tired, they are bored, they are angry. Every time people come to your office, they're telling you, no, that your front desk person, she's pretty, but she doesn't know how to behave, she doesn't know how to talk. It's not her fault. She has social anxiety. So for everybody that she's facing, she has to muzzle up a whole lot of strength to interact with that individual. So first rule as a business owner in building mental resilience in yourself and your organization, you must be organized. Organization is very, very key. We've talked about 3 strategies now: advocacy, building a culture of compassion, staying organized. Another thing we also must do in building strategy in the workplace is the employees assistance program. For small businesses in Nigeria, it may not be so attractive because it may be seen as being expensive. Employees assistance program is just a service to helping the employer and employees in the workplace. What that does is that now you have built a culture of compassion. You are not taking it out that we can talk about our mental, but what if there's somebody in the workplace that needs help? What do you do? And how do you help that person? The EAP, which is the Employee Assistance Program, what it does is that on that other side, there are trained professional therapists and psychiatrists, psychologists who are there that will be helping these individuals we have talked about, you and them. They can talk to. So for example, they can't sleep, they're having challenges. The person is in a domestic violent relationship, but they can't come and express that to you. They cannot talk to this person who has the confidentiality clause not to, use his or her past against that individual. So it's not a safe space that is outside your work environment, but it's helping you to make sure that your employees and you are more mentally stable.
Right.
So these are some of the strategies I would, but of course I would keep talking about more as we go on.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was great.
Thank you very much for that. So ladies, if you have questions, please raise your hand or you put them in the chat section. So a question for you, Dr. Maimuna. What would you say are the common signs of mental health potential problems for business owners? What would you say, are the warning signs to look out for?
So as individuals, our thoughts influence our emotions and our emotions influence our behavior. We are 8 on this forum right now. A quick question I want to throw to each and every one of us is that I don't even need to ask you this, but I know that beginning of the year, we all had business strategies, plans, what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to get more clients, how you want to, all the things you want to do. But how many of us are emotionally bankable as business owners? What this translates to is that how much have you invested in your emotions as an individual? What strategies, what tools, how much did you deposit in your emotional bank? Because right now, some of us, we need to go back to our emotional bank and withdraw to help ourselves. So you must have a plan to help you become more emotionally bankable. And if you want to start that process, you have to choose a currency. I'm not choosing Naira. I'm a Nigerian here. Our money has been highly devalued, so I'm not going to choose Naira to bank my emotions. So you have to also choose a currency whereby you want to bank your emotions. And what are the things you want to bank emotionally? That's the way you deposit money in the bank and withdraw when you need it. You want to bank emotionally by sleeping adequately, by exercising regularly, by eating healthily, by having the right set of people in your circle. These are things that you bank emotionally. So when you need them, you go back there freely, willingly. Somebody didn't need to convince me to say, come and do this. She has banked, there's that connectional intelligence she's using now. We've known, she's a friend, she's a sister. So when she called on me to say, oh, do this, I didn't tell her, oh, this is the amount you have to pay. People pay for my webinars, yeah, but I didn't have to tell her, pay this or whatever. Those are the things you have to bank on. And when you bank emotionally, when you need them, you don't need to think twice. You just go in there and take what you want to take and of course use. And of course, if you must stay emotionally stable and sustainable, you must also make sure that you do not operate from your place of deficit. You have to operate from your place of abundance. And being emotionally bankable means that you have what you can give, because you cannot give what you don't have. You are your own biggest asset. If you don't take care of yourself, who will? And if you don't do that, then when? So when we look at business owners and entrepreneurs, what most of us lack, and for the fact that we tend to forget easily that this is a lonely journey. being a business owner. It is difficult, it is hard. You know, workers may not even know how you get money to pay their salaries, but you just have to do it. So you need a lot of mental resilience for you not to break down. In fact, a study done by a psychiatrist and an entrepreneur, Michael Freeman, it was in Harvard Review, that was in 2013 or thereabout, he's telling us that anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and attention deficit hyperactive disorder are the highest known and commonly common mental illness that spread across founders and entrepreneurs. And have we repeated it in Nigeria? Yes. Anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. Because you are dealing with so much. There's that anxiety of meeting target. There's that pressure of making sure things are fine. You know, there's everything surrounding you. Your inventories, your operational costs, you know, customers are on your case. People are bashing you here and there. That anxiety. And let's not forget, I talked about vulnerability risk factors. If you're already predisposed, it's very easy for you to break down. Is depression there? Yes. So when we talk about these three major, anxiety, depression, and substance abuse, they are the top. And what are the signs that you will see to say this person may be going through that? Because our thoughts influence our emotions and our emotions influence our behavior, mental health disorders or mental illnesses affect the way we think, the way we act, and of course, the way we behave. So our thoughts are affected. And what do you see as an individual with this? Because it's not written on our faces. So when somebody tells you it is well, I am fine, they may actually be depressed. Because we have high functioning depression, we have smiling depression, and these people, you can wake up the following day and the person has taken his or her life. Because this person in the workplace with high functioning depression, he does his job, he will do every other person's job, and you see him as being productive, but he's depressed, and that is his way of coping, but it's actually a maladaptive way of coping. Because suicide is a snap, seconds, and the person kills himself because they are feeling hopeless, worthless, and helpless. So the common signs you see for entrepreneurs and of course among the general populace, because entrepreneurs and business owners are part of the general populace, is sadness. But I'm not saying sadness of a day or two. I'm not saying sadness because you don't have money. I'm not saying sadness because you have, you know, the airspace is not yet fully open for you to travel. No, I'm talking about sadness that has been ongoing for a minimum of 2 weeks. The low energy level. Yes, 2 weeks. Wow. And the thing is that some people can realize that they are, you know, persistently sad, while some people will be in denial. And some people that may realize it, this is where the problem comes in. When they talk to somebody like a friend or a sibling or a colleague or whatever, then we as Nigerians, we are very good at that. You now start telling me. So I Tewa comes to me now and tells me, oh, I'm dealing with this and this and that and that. Then me being a non-professional and being in Nigeria, I'm like, Tewa, your problems are very small. If you hear my own, just wait. Then I will now narrate all my own. And truly, my problems are so huge. You know what will happen to Tewa when she's leaving? She's going to go with her problems she came with. She'll go with my problems that she has inherited, and she'll be happy momentarily. Give 1, 2, 3 days, highest 1 or 2 weeks. Our problems plus mine will resonate back again, and the problem continues. Yeah. And if she keeps meeting people like that, at the end of the day, the problem is not solved, and then the person breaks down, and we say, "Oh, but she was very happy. Oh, I saw her yesterday. She has been screaming." These were red flags. These were warning signs, but people didn't see. You trivialize our issues, thinking that everybody in Nigeria is suffering. But nobody came to complain to you. This individual came to complain to you. Why don't you just listen, not judgmentally, to help the individual rather than listening to respond to the individual? So these are things we want also enlighten. These are the things I want to enlighten us about today. So sadness is there, minimum of 2 weeks. Low energy level is also there. You don't want to do anything. You wake up in the morning, you feel lethargic, you feel fatigued, you feel easily tired. And you know, these are the things that are happening to us right now in this COVID-19, working remotely, parenting online, you know, and all those kind of things. Not really, no fun places to really go to, no parties, no one beds. You know, we are just in one cave, one house, in a bubble. So it can be very draining mentally. The third one is loss of interest in things ordinarily you love to do. These are major, major symptoms. But again, for you, You may think they are normal, but there is always a time to it. It's not a day or two. You must also look at them in 2 weeks. Is this still ongoing? Has anything changed? Why am I feeling the way I am feeling? Why do I still feel this way despite I have prayed, I have fasted, and I'm still feeling this way? That is a time for you to first talk to a trusted family member. You may not necessarily have to look for a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist. A trusted family member may just help you. So, look at all what is happening around you and be able to open you up to options and tell you, look, oh, this is not what it is. Why don't you look at it this way? Because when you are emotionally blinded and you are in that bubble, you don't see anything. You just feel as if everything is an effort. You feel trapped. Or somebody on the other side of the table can just say, oh, no, this is not, that's not, you are thinking about it differently. Why don't you look at it this other way? So those are major symptoms. But you know what? When it comes to mental illnesses, the minor symptoms they are numerous, and most times they are as if you are having malaria. So they can mimic malaria-like symptoms. So you find out that you are not eating well, you are not sleeping well, you have this internal heat, you have body pains. Are these not malaria symptoms? So you treat malaria. The following week, malaria has not gone. You treat typhoid. You say because you didn't treat typhoid. The third week, malaria, typhoid hasn't gone. You say because you didn't do a blood test, that is the reason why you didn't know whether it was 1+ or 2+. And let me tell you, as a physician, as far as you're in Nigeria, if you do malaria test every day, still be 1 or 2+, because we are in a malaria zone. So it is there. Malaria hasn't been eradicated. By the time you start, doing that test again, before you know it's happening, you are treating malaria and typhoid 1 month, 2 months. Then you start changing your hospital. You start changing your doctor. The moment you start doctor shopping and hospital shopping, you need help.
Wow.
You truly need help, because you want validation from a physician to tell you there's something wrong. And you will have done all the laboratory investigations and they will tell you there's nothing wrong. Madam, there's nothing. You will not do, no, I want to go for CT scan. You will go. It's MRI that I want to go for. Maybe because you have HMO that can cover all that. Oh, you will do everything. Nothing. The moment you start changing your hospital, thinking the hospital is the problem, or start changing your doctor, the doctor is the problem. No, you are emotionally unstable and you truly need help. Because there's that mental illness, we call it hypochondriasis or somatization, or in the layman's language, is when you start having that general sense of unwell. You don't know what is happening to you. When you look at your finances, they are okay. When you look at your relationship, they are okay. When you look at people around you, they are good people with beautiful vibes, they are awesome. But you just know that you are not just okay. Is that time for you to seek for help? Yes. It doesn't mean that you are mad. No. The people that are mad, that we call mad, they're just 1% of people that have mental illness on the street. Those people on the street is just 1%. 99 is you and I. The 99% is you and I. That is well dressed with makeup and looking all glam. And it's called package madness. You're all well dressed. Nobody is going to know what is wrong with you. Nobody knows who took an antidepressant this morning before coming on board. So that is it. So don't look at people and say, look, I think there's this, or I think there's this, or because of this, your problems are small. No, suffering is not a competition. You need to encourage them to go seek for help professionally. So, Tiwa, these are the common mental illnesses among entrepreneurs and business owners. And these are the common signs and symptoms that you can have. It can get to a bad stage where people start hearing voices, when they start seeing strange things, when they start becoming suspicious and paranoid, For example, the video of the lady yesterday that went viral, the doctor in Dallas, when I posted it and I wrote my views about it, some people in the US now wrote to me and said, the woman has bipolar affective disorder. Wow. And we do understand that people with bipolar affective disorder, there are two mental illnesses in a spectrum. Depression on one end of the polar and mania on one end of the polar. If she's going through a manic phase now, she will exhibit on what she's doing now. Very grandiose. I've treated 350 patients. They've healed. These are the meditation to cure COVID. COVID is curable. In a manic phase, the person is Jesus Christ. In a manic phase, the person is Donald Trump and Buhari. you know, they can do and undo. So these are the things we need to know before we get to that stage where you become depressed, you start having a bipolar affective disorder. You have to take charge. Know when things are getting out of line. And that is where we are talking about the fact you must have a healthy support system with you. Because sometimes when you are crossing the line, you may not know when to go back. But the people around you will say, hi, hold it, come. I think we need to talk. You need help. So these are the common mental illnesses and some of the signs that you find among people with mental illness.
Thank you very much for that. Wow. I mean, this is loaded. Even I'm like, oh my gosh, God help us. Sadness for more than 2 weeks is something. Wow. Okay, so Labari held her hand up. Labari, you have a question? Labari, unmute yourself.
I think maybe the hand up has been the one initially she put up.
Oh, okay. All right. So does anyone have any questions for Dr. Kadri? I have more questions, but I don't.
I do actually.
The questions I have, the questions I have.
Tayo says she has.
Yes.
A pretty face right now.
Hello, doctor. Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your information. In fact, when you had said in the beginning that we should treat this exercise as an intimate session, before you said that, I was doing three things at the same time. And when you said that, my spirit just told me to focus. And sorry, there's a train coming. So I appreciate what you said about the children and how you can help them, etc., etc. I will imbibe that. I will imbibe those as I move forward. What you said that also resonated with me is with staffing issues. Now, this pandemic has thrown us to fully work full-time from home, even though my staff and I have been doing it now for almost 5 or 6 years, but we had to fully integrate on doing that. Now, what happens in a scenario where you have the organization, you have the structure, you have enlisted 2 people to do the same thing, who have the same procedure and the same help and the same, support system of everybody knows they can talk to me, everybody knows that they can talk to each other, there's organization, but you have delivery issues. You have delivery issues with one person. So it's not like a clean-cut scenario of, the receptionist is not great at receiving customers. This person knows why they were enlisted, but they deliver less than the other person. And it's affecting my business. It's been something I've been dealing with for almost a week now. And the reason why actually I'm bringing it up because it's good to talk. I can't talk to my staff because the issue affects them. I can't talk to my husband because he's the sort of person, he's a military-minded person. If the person is not working, cut them off. He's exactly. So I don't want to approach it from that perspective. And I haven't been able to talk about it to anybody. And more so, the reason why I couldn't speak about it with my husband is because this particular staff that is not delivering as they should is also a personal friend that I gave employment to when the pandemic started in March. Now, if it was someone that was from the street with their CV, etc., I know how to be firm to get what I need. But this person grew up with me and they're not delivering. And I just don't know how to handle that scenario. If you have some advice on how I can approach it, I would love it, because that's something that I'm dealing with right now.
This is so very much like a lot of us, where we have family members being our employees or a close friend being our employee. So emotionally,
let's line up on that demand.
Emotionally, you just feel trapped because you do not know how to say it, so that you won't be seen as a bad person, and you won't be, labeled as, oh, she's a very brutal boss and all that. The thing is that you've already employed this person based on what you think the person can deliver. But the thing is that, is this person actually capable in delivering what you think? It may be an assumption. So now you've assumed, you did not really look into the capacity of this individual. So there are various ways you can help this person. Have that frank discussion. Make it a sandwich approach. And this is how you do it. Say all the nice things that this person has done, from childhood to whatever, to how and whatever. And then put it, of course, to the time you employ this person. And it's not like you are making it look like I picked you up from the street, but you are telling the person the fact. They bring in the problem. That is why we say it's a sandwich approach. We bring in the problem. For the past 1 or 2 weeks or whatever, you've not been doing this. Look at your job execution. You fall short on this. You fall short on that. You fall short on this. Then you wait for feedback. Is there something you would like me to know? Are there challenges you want to discuss with me? Is it that do you want something that I can help you, to upscale you, to, help you acquire? You have to, if you don't do that, you just be hot. You are a prisoner to yourself. You'll be hot, and it's so excruciating that you.
Can I say something, Doctor?
Yes, please.
In fact, without you, I'm so glad we're having this discussion, because it makes me feel like the approach I have been taking, I was on the right path. I have tried what you're saying. In fact, if we can have a one-on-one after this, I can send you screenshots. This morning, I was frank. I thought about it all night. I paid compliments, several compliments. These are your strengths, but your strengths that you bring to the table are not what we need at the moment. That's worth the amount I'm paying you, because I could pay less for your strengths. Yes.
So Tayo, no, this is the question, Tayo. Yes. Are you scared of letting her go? Do you feel bad if you let her go? Because you're a prisoner right now.
Yes. To be honest with you, the options I gave today was, if we want to focus on your strengths, I would like you to do the 2 weeks notice officially that I'm giving you on the official salary that was given to you. And then we can take a look at a reduced price for these strengths that you have. That's what I gave to her before I came into this session, because I've tried everything, and I don't want it to affect us, that we don't speak anymore.
Exactly. It will affect the relationship, and you do not want that. There's a existing relationship, and if you make it like employer-employee issue right now, that relationship will be broken, and that's for life. So you want to take things easy. But is there a way? Have you also found that what she's doing, there are things that you can train this your employee to? Maybe there are some things that, sometimes you say soft skills training, and because person can really answer phone or whatever, or you're in PR, or maybe it's a digital marketing, whatever. Is there something that maybe she may need some training to boost her productivity? I don't know.
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, and these were provided when she started, but she's just extremely slow, and I feel that compared to my other staff that work from home, I feel she's duplicating my time. That's how I feel deep down. I feel she's doing other things other than my work. So the things that would take me, every single job I assigned to every single member of my staff, I probably did it myself for 3-4 years. So I know how long things are supposed to take in the beginning and when you're an expert at it. So I feel deep in my core that she's duplicating my time with doing other things, because I saw her potential before I agreed. So it's not like I was being sentimental throughout the entire process. I knew what she was capable of, but if she was at my desk in front of me in an office, I feel like she's seriously doing something else with the time. I do.
Yeah.
And she spends also half of the time explaining that she didn't understand the brief. And in your manual, you were told that if you've been assigned a task, if the task is reaching up to 30, 40 minutes on your desk and you're having issues, speak with management, seek help.
All these have already been well.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, and then you spend 4 hours and you submit a paragraph of something that doesn't make sense. And she says to me, I think fast. I want everything to happen fast. Maybe, you know, and I'm like, no, every single other person that does what you are doing are working fast.
Yeah.
They're thinking on their feet. I need people to think on their feet. People will call into a boardroom, give them a problem. And as they're giving you the problem, as they're speaking, you're thinking of a solution. Those are the kind of people I need.
Truly. Who else is feeling the pain Tayo is feeling right now? Are you seeing how she's pained? She doesn't need to cry, but she's pained. You could see it from her that, look, this person is just slowing me down in this pandemic. You don't want me to earn my money. You're just making my job worse, and you're frustrating me. You're adding to my pain. I can't handle this anymore. What you're telling us in this one, you're just telling us, I can't do this anymore. I can't handle this anymore. I'm tired. I just want to leave this forum and just tell her, hey, pack your things and leave. But you want to do it in a very diplomatic way. You also want to, make sure that this relationship does not go into another phase whereby everybody around you that know both of you will start saying, oh, Tayo was just bullying her. Tayo is very arrogant. Don't you know her? She know those kind of things. People never ask you questions. So,
exactly.
And this is a good learning curve for you right now. You won't want to bring on board a friend anymore. Next time, you want to only bring a friend on board who you know, yes, maybe like on a temporary basis or something like that. So it's very, very important. And of course, again, I think also maybe with something else we are doing that may not be too right, you are comparing now a lot with other people.
Okay.
Yeah. She has her strength. Maybe you have not yet hit the core of what really, is she an executionist or a starter? We are on the different spectrum. I love to execute. I can also start, but I love to execute. So when you tell me to start, I say, do it, then I'll help you finish it. So find where she really falls in. You saw something in her. Don't just throw it away. There's something about her that you haven't. Maybe really strike the corner and see, where does she fall in? Does she do things very well? Like thinking, you said think. If she's thinking on the spot, maybe she's not really good in that. But when somebody starts it, she can execute. Maybe those are the things that you may look into that can really help, this individual. Rather than, other people that are doing it, I've given this job and this person did it in 40 minutes. Hey, there's attention deficit. I've just talked about it now.
Can I make a comment?
Yes,
Can I make a comment? I saw a text here. Someone said create a hand holding schedule, etc., etc. She has these things. She has delivery time. She has the schedule. She has it, but she just, for one reason or the other, does not stick to deadline. Is always late. It just seems like when I say, oh, we have a meeting at 2, it seems like she's making a point to be there at 2:30. Or you say this thing is due on Friday morning and it doesn't get to your desk until 2. I've told her, I said, you will be fined, you will be blah, blah, blah. But I had to take a deep look at my company's financial situation for her desk. And I'm thinking, if I'm paying you this much to be a co-strategist and you're delivering what an admin person can deliver, it's costing me,
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And can be very painful, truly. In fact, you've said a whole lot, and I'm also from the chat box. People are also giving tips and all that. Yeti has asked if there's a skill assessment that we can actually do stuff. Yes, there's some psychometric assessment, but as a small and middle income business in Nigeria, you don't even want to also go through all those protocols of trying to know what the skills are. But truly, I think that is also a skill assessment that quite a number of us haven't been doing, right? And that, because when you know what their strengths are, there's some basic ones. I will look for one or two. I will share with Kewa, and then because all of you have registered online, should be able to share with everybody that came on board today. They are basic, but they will actually tell us who are the people that are more organized, people that are more empathic, people that are very detailed. So a detailed person may be better in accounting as against somebody you want to, in another job. So exactly like this. You are very right. Somebody talked about this assessment. This assessment really, really helps. And I think it's something that truly we can, and it's not like it's something out of ordinary. It's a basic test you can actually administer to yourself and know where they fit in, and know their strengths and know their weaknesses, and that will really help. So, wow. Tayo, let's take this offline.
Okay.
Let's talk about this.
Thank you so much. This is quite informative for me as well, because we're all always, especially in Nigeria, pulling our hair out because of staff that are not delivering. And now that everybody has to work from home, at least a few days during the week, you're wondering if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I'm trying to focus on delivery. Are they delivering what they're supposed to deliver on? Because otherwise, sadness will go for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Truly. Because truly, at this point in time, we shouldn't look at perfection. We shouldn't look at being perfect. We should actually look at progress.
Yeah.
Because if you look at everything, the dotted lines, the crossing the T's, and let's look at progress. Because we want to stay productive. We want to stay, sane in everything that we are doing. And also, micromanaging people now, you are putting a whole lot on yourself. You can't afford to be micromanaging people. We are women. Quite a number of us on this forum now have children, or you have family members. So you do not want to add that to your already busy schedule by micromanaging. Look at the progress. Look at, if you know that your accountant is the type of person that you must look at the invoice before they send them out. Look at it, it's your money. Don't even ignore that aspect of it. Let it be that you as the owner, that is the aspect you are looking at. Do it, then I will validate. And when I see it, there are some loopholes, I will do it, and then I said, this is it, submit. But let them do their jobs. By the time you say, no, you have to do like this. This is how you are supposed to do it. You are going to be neglecting a whole lot of other things that you are supposed to be doing. As a business owner, you must be the visionary leader. You must be the chief strategist. If you are doing admin work, doing this work, doing that work, you are burning out. And when you burn out, you are useless to yourself and you are useless to others.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a case of you just resolving within yourself that, okay, this is something I have to do. I should be doing, so I don't, put myself under mental stress. So, Doctor, no one has anyone asked any question? Okay, not yet. So, a question to you is, can you give us tips on how to cope with stress, work stress, and what we should be doing for our mental health, especially in this period?
Awesome. Like I said earlier, I preach hope, I bring hope, and I'm big on self-care and self-love. So at this point in time, there's a whole lot we are dealing with, and we need to be able to manage ourselves. We need to be able to go back to our emotional bank and, help ourselves and help others from a place of abundance as against from a place of deficit. So as an individual, what are those? You said I should talk about the tips, right? Tips on how to help ourselves, right? Is that the question?
Yes.
Good. If you know all these vulnerability risk factors, and if you know right now, focusing is an issue, working with your employees is also a problem, remote working is another bigger issue, you have to understand how to manage yourself. And in managing yourself, you have to know what is it that you can do. One thing that is working for me right now, which anybody, if you think is a good thing for you to do, is to schedule unproductive days. Activity is not productivity. It's okay not to be okay at times. Schedule unproductive days where you'll be in your nightgown from morning till night. Nobody is coming to push you out of your house.
Yeah.
It is, don't, Netflix and chill. If you have light, that's another thing. It's, let it be that your day that you're even doing your binging day. Eat, relax, call friends, chit chat, just be unproductive. It is okay. You are enough. Don't compare. In fact, that day you may even decide to do social media detox so that you won't self-sabotage yourself or start self-criticism about yourself. Very unproductive. I do a lot of unproductive days. My children are like, Mom, are you not going to work? I say, which work? I'm paying people to work. Today I'm not going, I'm here. They'll be looking for ways to this woman, maybe she will soon go. I said today, no webinar. No, I'm not zooming in. I've zoomed out. Like today, I'm going to just be moving around you. So it's a very important tool that we can look into. Some other ways I've put in place are self-care tips. There's this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tip I have right now. I think it's on my social media platform. Some of these things are already on my social media platform. So please, if you have time, you can just go in there and just pick 1 or 2 things that may help you. You can print them out and use. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 self-help tips I've been able to put online. I said, number 1, what is that one thing that you have achieved this year? I know one thing you have achieved this year. For you to be on this forum, you are alive. So we've achieved that. So there's nothing that you can't tell me that you haven't achieved being alive. You are alive. So what is that one thing that you have achieved this year? I'm trying to look for it. I think somebody needs to take me back to my platform, but I'm looking for it. I will soon get it. Yeah. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ways of daily. It's a daily way to just stay productive, and it's very good as a self-help tip. 5 is practice 5 things you are grateful for on a daily basis. 5 things you are grateful for. Just practice it. It's a good thing for you to just know, what are you grateful for? You are awake, you are alive, you are a survivor. I've said 3 things. Those 3 things enough. There's roof over your head. You have a bed, you are lying down. You are not homeless. There's food. By the time you know what's happening, count your blessings, name them one by one. You have 20 things. So 5 things you are grateful for. 4, embrace 4 things you love about yourself. Embrace them. You own it. It's you. No need to seek validation from outside. There are 4 things about yourself and if you don't know, think deep. There are 4 things you love about yourself. Then 3 things. Identify 3 things that make you happy. What are those 3 things that make you happy? 3 things. Just look around you. There's so many things. It's not all doom and gloom in this COVID-19. There are beautiful things that we are learning. Some of us have better relationship with our spouses now. Some of them better communication. Some of us, our sexual life is now becoming very nice. You know what I mean? Ladies, let's not shy away from these things. These things are very important to our mental wellness. So it's not only the physical. They are also very vital. So there are things that you also, identify 3 things that make you happy. Then, of course, 2 is reach out to 2 people you care about and tell them how much they mean to you. And this is where our elderlies come in. Mom, dad, COVID-19, physical distancing. No, reach out to them. Loneliness among the elderly leads to depression. So we are beginning to see, I've admitted an 86-year-old now because of depression. And in fact, I told the family I have to discharge her on Friday because I want her to stay at home. Let us do home nursing for her. I'm scared because she's in that age. Elderly, she has hypertension, now she's depressed. If COVID comes in, I don't know what we'll do. But she was so bad, we just had to keep her for the next 72 hours. By Friday, we are going to discharge her home with nurses to manage her. So please reach out to 2 people that, and tell them how much they mean to you. And the number 1 is that, you write down what is that one thing you've achieved this year, which is, of course, you are alive. So it's very important that you know that for this period now, staying alive is also very key. Another way you can also manage yourself this COVID-19 is to use the acronym of COVID-19. They are on my platform and they are e-flyers. So it's very easy. I can send them to Tiwa and then of course you can easily share them. The C here is connect with people, loved ones, friends and colleagues for emotional support. Connect with people, leverage of technology, WhatsApp, Zoom parties, My son graduated on Friday. It was a Zoom graduation. And then in the evening, we had a party. And then there was a DJ for them, and they had a lot of fun. So please connect. It's very, very, and connection also helps to build mental resilience. Very, very important. Because when you are connected with people, when they need people, this challenge you are accepting, we need to really take it beyond the hashtag online. When there's a window for a job, nominate a woman. When there is there's a table where more people need to come in, bring in a woman. If there's no chair, bring your own chair. If there's no table, create your own table and bring women in. If the door is closed, open the door from the back and let the woman come in. Come and sit down, sister. We are in it together. So we need to take it more than just the hashtag and the black and white. So connecting is very key. The whole year is up for urgent and important activities. Urgent and important. This is not the time for you to go to My 12 or go to Sakati to buy phone. Use e-commerce. Send your money message. Learn to delegate and outsource. Don't focus. I must go. You go to My 12 and you're living in Ikoyi. The time, the energy spent. When you go to call Easy Shop, Easy Push, she will deliver it to you clean. And then you will say, because when she brings it, I'm going to spend extra 10,000. What is extra 10,000? Have you actually checked the credit, how much you spend on credit on a monthly basis? Send your money message, dear sisters. You don't need to kill yourself. So opt for the urgent and important activities only. The V year, learn to verbalize your worries and other negative thoughts. So regularly. Why this is important is that the way this virus is spreading is the same way our negative thoughts can spread and affect our thought processes. So learning to verbalize this thought to loved ones or trusted family members about our worries, about our fears. So this is one thing I will teach for us here. Whenever you call anyone, these are 4 statements I will employ all of us to ask the individual. Don't just talk about, did you see what the NCDC has posted? Hey, when will this COVID leave? You are not in control about when COVID will leave Nigeria or leave the world. You are in control of your emotions, and please keep it that way. So when you call any sister or anybody, loved one, family member, colleague, first thing, ask the person, how are you? Really, how are you? If it's somebody the way they talk, the way they act, if it's video, you see that there may be something wrong, and then you can, came into that and explore more. The second question you want to ask the person is, what are the good things that are happening in the person's life? People want to also talk about their successes and stories, not posting it on LinkedIn all the time. They want to also talk to real people about what is happening in their life, how the good things are. My son has graduated. Look at me, I'm sharing with people. I'm happy with school fees for now. I've rested. I'll be waiting for secondary school. When we get to that bridge, we will cross it. But for now, there is peace. So ask that person, what are the good things happening in the person's life? It also helps you to evaluate yourself. The third question is that ask the person, what are the challenges that this person is dealing with? Don't assume because you saw me online, WhatsApp, 11 p.m., all is well, or I posted something on Facebook. It may be my virtual assistant. I'm not there, but we've already had a program for the week and she knows what to post. Then you just assume that I'm the one. Who said, have you called me? Did you check up on me? So ask the person what challenges that the person is dealing with. Last but not the least, ask the person truly, what can I help you with? 3 days ago, somebody ordered food and sent to me in my house because we talked about it, and I'm like, I'm tired of cooking, Jerry. And I saw food. I said, thank you. Today, no kitchen matter. Let me eat. I can't do myself. I cannot come and kill myself. So please, this 4 statements, ask when you call anyone. It helps to break the ice, it strikes a conversation, and if your friend or a colleague or a family member is actually dealing with anything, they genuinely will want to open up to you when you ask them this question. So I talked about COV. The I here is identify and manage your stressors. If you don't know it, you cannot manage what you don't know. Sometimes human beings around us are the ones stressing us out. And if you do not understand that, you will be so stressed. In fact, that your stress will enter road, will enter street. So please make sure you identify and know what your stressors are. The D here is do seek for help. It's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. If you need help and you feel trapped, please seek for help. It's very important. It gives room for declustering your mind. Seek for help. It's a sign of strength. You are not weak. You are not bad. You don't have a weak character, and you are not a bad person. So D is do seek for help. 1 year, I decided to do 19. I did do 19. You know what 19 is? If you know, you know. I don't want to go in there. COVID-19. So the 1 year is take 1 day at a time, because this keeps you emotionally grounded. You can decide to take 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time. Whatever works for you, please maximize on that. The 9 year is write down 9 things you are grateful for daily. This help keeps hope alive. So these are self-help tips that we can deploy with the COVID-19 acronym, and of course with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that we do on a day-to-day basis. There's no way. We are all dealing with a lot. Like I said, it's a lot we are all dealing with. I can be here now looking all good and glam. You don't know what I'm faced with. So don't compare. The moment you see yourself self-comparing, self-sabotaging, self-criticizing with what people are posting online, please understand that we cope differently. Their coping mechanism is different from your coping. Find what works for you. If WhatsApp is your bad vibe right now, uninstall it. It's when you have it in your app, you want to go, you'll be tempted to open it. If it's not helping you, uninstall it. If Twitter, you are not there, it's a toxic, the streets of Twitter is very toxic. So if you are not there, you can decide not to even enter there now, because you don't, there they will drag, they drag everybody. They don't care who you are. So you need to understand that taking regular breaks is also very important. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and of course the COVID-19, I will add up with this last one, the ABC. The ABC of stay mentally stable right now, the A, stay active. A is exercise, 20-30 minutes brisk walk. This will boost your feel-good hormones and of course help you keep rejuvenated, keep revamped. It's very good. A, stay active. A is for activity. B is breaks. Take regular breaks from social media, from news. NCDC decides to be releasing their news in the night. If you are the type that those things affect, you know your sleep will disappear. I don't watch it though. It's in the morning. There's no way. Channels, TVC, they will tell us what is happening. That's when I will know what they release. How can I believe they will release 11 p.m. Then I will not see 500 or something. So what is my business? In the morning, we will all be there. We will know it. So please take regular breaks from news, social media, and that will help you manage your anxiety, fear. It's very important. The C is connected. I've talked about it over and over again. Stay connected. Don't be isolated and be isolated. Staying connected helps keeps you sane, keeps you emotionally stable, minimize your stressors, alleviate your anxiety, and of course, there's somebody out there you can pour out your mind on. 2, that wouldn't criticize you, that wouldn't judge you. These are the people you need. The ABC, awareness, toolkit.
Wow, powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kadiri. Thank you so much. We learn every day, and this has been so insightful, educative, and informative as well. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a quick recap. In fact, I have my notebook is filled with all the notes from all you've said. But one thing a few things that I want us all to take away from today's webinar is the fact that mental health is not a wacko, cuckoo, going crazy kind of thing. No, mental health is for, everybody has mental health. It's mental illness that, that is now something else. And according to stats, as the doctor have said, she said that 1 in 5 people will have mental illness according to statistics, and it affects a lot of people, especially in Nigeria. Just because we're looking well, we dress well, doesn't mean everything is okay up there. So we need to be able to, check ourselves and check on others. Now, she mentioned something about what you need to do, tips on how to keep ourselves, a bit upbeat and a bit stressless in the situation and what's going on. And the number one thing she said is you need to be able to understand how to manage yourself, which is very, very important. And schedule unproductive days. She said 1 unproductive day. I actually do more than 1 because I have realized that if I keep stressing over things, I begin to have a headache at the back of my head or my forehead, and this is time to shut every single thing down because I don't want to be in pain. I want to be relaxed. So I think it's very, very important to do, to schedule those unproductive days. Like she said, activity is not productivity. And I love the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things you love about yourself, 4 things to, 5 things to be grateful for, 4 things you love about yourself. A lot of us are not thinking deep enough about what we love about ourselves. You're just listening to what other people say, but really, actually, what do you love about yourself? What do you like to do? You need to take out that time to, to do a self-audit and realize what you love about yourself. So that's number 4. Number 3 is identify 3 things that make you happy. We're all going going from here to there. We're not taking the time out to identify what really makes us happy. Is it eating chicken, or you're forced to eat chicken because everybody around you is eating chicken? So identify what you love about, the things that make you happy. And number 2, she said, tell 2 people every day how much they mean to you. I love that. I started doing that a few weeks ago, and it's very liberating. And then I call people up out of the blue, and they're so happy to hear from you. Yeah. So even if it's like the doctor said, do 2 people a day. Let them know how much they mean to you, and let them know that you're thinking of them. I just, sometimes just send a message that just checking. So you know that you're in my thoughts. And the number 1 thing is, even though we're in July 2020, August is just a few days away, think, what is the 1 thing that you have achieved this year? Even if it's sleeping more, it's an achievement. Trust me. Eating healthy, it's an achievement. You have to celebrate yourself and celebrate your win. And I love that about it. And I love the fact that she said that you should send your money on an errand. Stop doing everything by yourself. Send your money on an errand. And another thing I love that she said, and I want us all to, take on board, is verbalize your thoughts. We all have so many things that we're soaking and, cooked up in our minds and in ourselves, and we're not sharing with people. Look for that 1 person that you can open up to. Sometimes I actually write down whatever my thoughts are so I can let it out of my head and not just, let it cloud my mind. And I love what she said about, the COVID. The acronym for COVID. I didn't take all of them down, but very quickly, she says that remind yourself of the good things that are happening for you. Remind you when you meet people, ask them how they are. Ask them what are the good things that are happening for them. Share their happy news, tell them to share their happy news with you. And I love that part, actually. We should not all be saying, is that what happened to you? Come and hear what happened to me. Let's share happy news. Let's share something that lifts our spirit. And then she says, also ask what challenges people are facing. You might not be able to solve their problems, but at least you have that, you're that hearing ear for them. And then ask them, what can I help you with? It can be whatever. Like she said, cook. Please, I need food, or somebody send food to me. I need candles too. Somebody send me candles. What they can help you with. And it would really go a long way, and it would put a smile on people's face. I'm gonna add that you should, so she also said, identify what your stress indicators are. I say that whatever is making me jittery, or whatever is making me uncomfortable, I try not to engage in that conversation any longer, because at the end of the day, it's going to start giving me a headache. So identify what stresses you and stay away from it as much as possible, and seek for help. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen amongst us, seek for help. If you need help, seek for it. Speak to people. It's better to voice it out as opposed to, letting it implode in you, because it will implode and you will explode, and God knows what will happen from there. So thank you very much, Dr. Kadiri. I really, really appreciate this, and I'm sure all the ladies appreciate it as well. Let me see if there's anything that anyone's added, and then Yeti Williams says, that's why I follow Dr. Kadiri everywhere. She's always dropping knowledge. Yes, she is. So yes, she is. Thank you so much. Awesome presentation from Dr. Okafor. Akwase, okay, Akwase has a question. Hello.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
ladies,
Good afternoon,
gentlemen. Doctor, you remember
What
me?
did I do? What did I do? I remember.
You are too much. My darling, thank you very much. Tewa couldn't have been better. I'm sorry I joined in late, but I'm happy that I did. I just want to just add that checking on someone can never be the need to check on someone can never be underscored. It's not all about money. It's all about, hey, and what you can do is prepare a message. Use WhatsApp call. It's cheaper than the first, than the other, using the call, normal call. You can prepare a message down, a bit generic, but letting them know how Almighty God loves them. That they are the apple of his eye. That everything will be fine. They shouldn't worry. I tend to do that occasionally. And what that really helps when you have a broadcast with some people. So when you do a broadcast and you just send, you'll be amazed how people will just call, Ekwase, I needed this at this time. I needed it. You know, broadcast can help. Secondly, and lastly, so that other people can quickly contribute. Please, you do not need, she said it, you don't need the validation of anybody except Almighty God. To be comfortable in your skin. You are beautiful. Everyone has the purpose down earth. Avoid comparison. Avoid competition. It's not necessary. Competition brings bitterness, jealousy, envy, hatred, even if you don't admit it inside. When you are in a group, if you feel intimidated by maybe your old girls association, most people have, maybe for the primary school or secondary school, if you feel intimidated, get out of it.
Yep.
I get encouraged when I see they'll post 50,000 steps, 20,000 steps. When I see them, it motivates me. But it can depress someone else.
You're right.
So know yourself. Who am I? Who are you? Do you know yourself? Who is Ekwase? What is her strength?
A beautiful lady with melanin pumping skin.
What is her weakness?
Yes, sir.
Be happy to know your weakness. When people tell you, hey, Ekwase, you do this, is not good. Take it that the person loves you and wants you better instead of taking it as, what is it? Angry. No. I can go on and on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ekwase.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We really appreciate this moment. And like I said at the beginning, the ELOY Sustainable Empowerment series is just about us talking about different ways that business owners and entrepreneurs can stay afloat, can survive in this new normal that we have found ourselves. Today's topic was mental health for business owners and entrepreneurs. Our speaker has been the beautiful, exquisite Dr. Maimuna Yusuf Kadiri. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And thank you to all the participants. And we will see you on day 4, which is on the 12th of August, where we will be talking about tips for financial tips for small businesses. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. And thanks again.
Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
God bless you. Bye.
And you too. All right. Bye, everyone.
Remember your ABC. Active,
Exactly.
active,
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And learn to love.
Sorry, I didn't get the B. I didn't get the B.
B is break the cycle. Break the cycle.
Take regular breaks from social media, from
regular
news.
Breaks, sorry.
Regular breaks.
Breaks.
It's actually
anything that is not serving your higher purpose,
Exactly.
take a break from it.
But
To be
then
honest
what is
with
A?
you,
What is A?
What is what A?
What is A?
Active,
Oh.
stay active, you know,
Stay
exercise,
active.
yes, stay active. 20-30 minutes brisk walk, you know, we help, you know, boost your feel good hormones. These are
Yeah.
endorphins that will keep you rejuvenated, revamped, renewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.